last day with lesson 5. This is day 2. We'll be slicing our right rectangular prism with a plane. We'll continue this from yesterday. If you struggled in class today, don't worry. We'll try to review it again in this video. So our aim is the same as we had in our previous video. How do we describe rectangular regions that result from slicing a right rectangular prism by a plane? Again, we have a little fruit ninja here, guys. So again, we talked about this before. Slicing is kind of just like taking a plane, and this plane that we talked about, think of it as a sheet of paper. So whenever we do slices, well, instead of thinking of a ninja with a sword, let's think about more of a ninja with a piece of paper. Okay, that would be our plane. So we're slicing with basically a piece of paper, a plane. Okay? So let's jump right into it. Alright, example 3. Example 3 says that the right rectangular prism in figure 6, and there's figure 6 right there, has been sliced with a plane perpendicular to BCEH. Okay, so right off the bat, it's telling us that the slice that it just made is already perpendicular. Okay, well let's see what it's perpendicular to. Okay, so we have B, C, E, and H, and then back to B. Okay, so it's telling us in the problem that the slice is perpendicular to that bottom face. Okay, and again, this slice, doesn't that look like a sheet of paper? So it's telling us our slice is perpendicular to that bottom face, that base. Okay, it says the resulting slice is a rectangular region. Okay, well look at the slice, it kind of looks like a rectangle, with a height equal to the height of the prism. Okay, well the first thing it's asking us to do is label the vertices of the rectangle defined by the slice as WXYZ. So all it's asking us to do here, like we talked about in our last video, and like we talked about in class, is just label the vertices. That's it, label the corners. So I'll just start right here. W, X, Y, and Z. That's all it asks for that first part. Alright, so we just did part A. Let's slice it away. Okay. Letter B. Letter B says, to which other face is the slice perpendicular? Okay. I'm just going to get rid of the labels here. Don't get rid of yours. Now, it said at the beginning of the problem what it was already perpendicular to. It was perpendicular to B, C, E, H. Back to B. So perpendicular. It told us it was perpendicular to that. Now it wants to know what else it's perpendicular to. Well, if it's perpendicular to the bottom, I hope you're starting to realize that it has to be perpendicular to the top as well, the opposite side. So A, D, that letter got cut off there. I don't know what that letter is actually. You might know it on your paper. And then G. Oh, there it is. That missing letter was F. Okay, so now we know that since it was perpendicular to the base, well, it's got to also be perpendicular to the base opposite it. So we'll call that face. A, D, F, G. Again, it didn't matter which way you started, if you wanted to do G, F, D, A, as long as it's in order, right? And our last problem that it's asking us is letter C. What is the length of ZY? Okay, well it's asking us here what's the length of ZY. Well, we got to look at the diagram. I'm going to erase a little bit here. This is why I love pencil. So you can erase your paper as well. Alright, so I brought back up my labels on my slice. I'm actually going to change though this ZY. I didn't want it to say ZY. I actually want it to say YX. So make the little necessary changes on your paper as well. We want to know what the length of yx is in our slice. Okay, well, let's take a look. Here's our line that we're looking at right here. Now, what line do you think corresponds to that in our right rectangular prism? Well, it makes sense that it would be also the height here as well, right? That vertical line. So yes, the length of yx should be 6 inches. And we can say that, alright, zy, I keep doing that. We want it to say yx, line yx, is equal to 6 inches, right? Okay, so if you need more time, hit the pause button because we're moving on to the next slide. Whoop, too far. Okay, here we go. So, here's an exercise. Try this one by yourself. You can do this on your notes. You can get a free dojo point tomorrow. Again, if you feel like you want to raise your grade, this is the best way to do it. Okay? And last but not least, if you feel like you are still struggling with slicing, this is a good website where you can actually, it gives you all different types of prisms, all different types of 3D figures, and you can actually slice it. Okay, so give it a shot. That's actually kind of fun. If you have any questions, ask it during our burning questions segment tomorrow. We'll see you then.